Are you ready for the next act? Yeah! Her name is Katy Swainston. Fantastic. She's going to open the second half. Can't wait to see her. Can you wait? No, you can't. So I can't wait. Wonderful. Katy Swainston!
Hi everyone. My name's Katy. I'm not actually a comedian. No refunds. I actually work in museums, so I thought I'd get this set started by asking if anyone would like to share their favourite museum jokes. It's a good thing I'm here then, isn't it? Now, I am a little bit worried that since I'm not a comedian, I'm here on stage, that there is an actual comedian, perhaps in the British Museum, putting a shift in right now. On the phone to, the Greek government being all like, ooh. What has two thumbs and all your antiquities? That's the best they can do. Of course, that's not correct. The British Museum would never speak to a Greek government. Now, I've been personally affected by some of the big issues that I think we're all aware of in museums. I was actually an intern at the British Museum, unpaid of course, that's kind of their thing. And usually what would happen by, I don't know, between 12 and 1 every day is that people would start coming to me almost shaking with outrage and really tell me some profound things about their experience. To think of a few things like £10 for a panini and packet of crisps here. You must these aren't even kettle chips. It was really hard supporting so many white high earners through these great injustices, but I felt like, I really tried. I think Extinction Rebellion really get things right with this. They bring in their own food. They're really clumsy. But I admire their organisation, kind of ironically, exactly the kind of people who you would want to be on a long haul flight with, I think. You might be wondering at this point why I would work in museums at all, and that's because they answer a really important question for me, and that is, what if you took wildly posh people and wildly neurodivergent people and got them to guard some treasure together? It's the kind of thing that Simon Cowell would try to pitch to Channel 5 in the early noughties, and Channel 5 would be like, whoa, sounds a bit unethical. Kind of antique roadshow meets Squid Game, and it's exactly my cup of tea. Now, you might be thinking from all of the expertise that I've just gifted you that I was destined to work in museums, but that isn't always the case. In fact, at the start of my career, I was thinking about working as a scientist. I actually showed a lot of promise. And I don't want to be arrogant, but I think I actually might still be the most talented scientist in this room. And I'm going to ask a question which I think will prove that. What did the aliens say after they built Stonehenge? You look like someone who might know some alien trivia. Do you know what they said? What's your name?
James.
Hi James. What did the aliens say? I don't need an exact quote, just an approximation.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Well, the answer is they didn't say anything because the aliens didn't build Stonehenge. Basic archaeology science for you. I should tell you that I've dabbled in a number of scientific areas, bit of psychology, bit of physics. I'm personally responsible for 2 electrical fires and 1 nervous breakdown. The nervous breakdown I don't want to take full credit for. It was actually a group effort with class 7F. Community school with one of our teachers. She'd been thinking about retiring for a while. She was almost 26. And I feel like 7F did to the reputation of Parkview Community School what Elon Musk has done to the reputation of South African mining heirs. Like, it was already pretty bad. But we inexplicably made it kind of even worse. And that was, of course, apart from me, I was a bit of a star in the science class. In one of our first science classes, we were tasked with making smelling salts. I'm not really sure who decided to give 20, 11-year-olds who regularly had to be cut out of their own ties, access to chemicals. And I think the teachers thought, like, gosh, what if anyone in this class wants to be a nervous Victorian when they're older? We should really train them up for that. So we went about it, we made the smelling salts, and it was actually a massive success. Now, James, can you tell me, what do you do with smelling salts?
Oh, you put them under your nose.
Close. What you actually do is you tip them into a line on your desk. You get an exercise book and you kind of level it up, and then you close one nostril and then you snort it. Not a little sniff either. You've got to go through that stuff faster than Greg Wallace's PR team's about to go through his Instagram. Now, I feel like, some of you are looking at me like, is that what you do with smelling salts? And I can tell you it definitely is, because not only did I get the afternoon off, but I also actually briefly got to see God. At this point, you're probably thinking, Katy, oh my God, you're so talented at science. Why didn't you become a scientist? You could have been an academic. You could have been a researcher. In some countries, you could have been selected to be the Secretary of Health and Human Services. I am orange despot. But I had a profound experience which actually really changed that and set me on my current course to museums. And that experience was, I visited somewhere called Arbeer. James, do you know what Arbeer is?
I'm afraid not.
That's fine, that's fine. So it's actually a Roman fort, so it's on Hadrian's Wall, right at the top of the country, just before you get to Scotland. And we visited there. I was about 11 years old. It's very famous today, of course, for eliciting the longest yawn from an 11-year-old in the world. It's in somewhere specifically called South Shields, if anyone is not familiar with it. South Shields, the seagulls there won't steal your chips, but they will hijack your car and threaten your family. And back then, our history teacher, he was telling us about the Roman wall, and he was saying that in today's money, it would cost £770 million to build. Now, to put that into perspective, that's almost the amount that Keir Starmer received in Taylor Swift tickets in 2020. It's quite a lot. Now, this was all really boring to anyone with ears, so I just walked on. I had a wander, and I came along to like a trench, and I looked into it, and there was a man in there, very much alive, and digging away, and it made me have kind of a revelation about myself and what I wanted to do with my life, because I was standing there in my school uniform. I had shoes on, no higher than 1 inch of the heel. I had black trousers on, not too straight, not too fitted, not too flared, absolutely right. I had a white blouse on as well, again, not too fitted, not too loose. I had my school tie on, 1 inch off my waistband. I had no makeup on, I had no nail varnish on, I had absolutely no joy at all in my life. And that's because I've been told that tidy children become tidy adults, and tidy adults get good jobs. Untidy adults end up in one of 3 places. 1, prison. 2, the local news. And 3, London. But I saw this guy, I looked down into the trench and I was like, gosh, he doesn't look like a criminal or a Londoner. He actually looks like happy. And so, he's wearing this tie-dye top and this fleece and everything like that. And yeah, this really did have a profound effect on me. So 5 years later, when I went to the school computer in the library to choose, firstly that was trying to go to university, but secondly, like what I was going to study, I decided to choose archaeology. And I remember going to my form tutor at the time and saying, Mr. Hetherington, I've decided what I am going to study at university. It's archaeology. And he was like, archaeology? I didn't know you were interested in designing buildings. What about the electrical wires, Katy? I was just like, oh, Mr. Hetherington, I was like, that's architecture, not archaeology. It's grand design, stop time team. Archaeology is like about being outside, like digging holes, doing whatever the fuck you want. And architecture's being about inside with in-floor heating and like a really cozy chair, and who would want that? I'd like to have a word with my 17-year-old self at this point. And he was like, yeah, that's fine, Katy, but like, what are you going to do with a degree in archaeology? I thought, but isn't it obvious, Mr. Hetherington? Stand-up comedy. Thank you very much.